Hey, it's Scratch from Scratch's Garage, and we're here with a new episode of the ShoeBox build. What we're going to try to do today is get these rockers welded in. Blake and Nick are here today. They're ready to work, and we're going to get that stuff in. I would like to work on that quarter panel that's back there. Maybe even start like figuring out the floorboard situation. So stay tuned. Keep watching, subscribe, like, do all that stuff.
All right, this is Nick from Blue Collar Creatures working at Scratch's Garage. If you're curious to what I'm doing here, I'm cutting out the body mounts that connect down to the chassis. It's a rather tedious process. You got to kind of get creative with how you cut it out. But, you know, going slow and taking your time, that sucker will eventually pop right back out.
So we're still working on the ShoeBox. A lot of people, you have to replace this piece. This is the mount that's inside the car that holds up the floor and all this other stuff. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is to replace all this, how to take this off. You end up having to cut it into a bunch of pieces. Then after you do that, there's layers and layers here to build up this corner, because this is the structural part of the car, because the mount is here. It's very time consuming, and you have to get all this off and replace all the rust on the inside and the outside of this lower corner here. And this is the A pillar, so this is the main mount to the car on both sides. And then we get back to the back mount back here. We're not even there yet. Don't even look. But this is a very time consuming manner. And you do this, and then we can put the rocker on. So I'll get back to it. I'll get out of the way, let Nick do this, and we'll just keep humming along on this little ShoeBox.
Alright guys, this is Nick from Blue Collar Creatures, and I'm over here at Scratch's Garage. And so what I'm going to do next is I have to cut this into little different pieces, as you just heard Scratch describe on how important all the different things are for it. So making some templates to build the outer and also the inner. And so after I'm done with that, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to bop on over to the brake and that fab table over there, and we're going to go ahead and start making these pieces. So watch and learn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use some tape to make my templates. Learn that trick from Scratch. It works really well. I actually prefer it over using, say, like, just paper and a ruler with all that on and off the car, when you can just go ahead and mock up all the little folds that you need and then just use a Sharpie like I'm doing right now, and you kind of just get the exact shape that you want. Trim it out, of course, when you're putting it on the metal, leave a little extra room for error, so that way you can kind of massage it and fold it into place, and you'll see me doing that here in a little bit. So right here, I'm removing more of the old body mount off the A pillar, and what that's going to allow me to do is put my template and make sure that it's flat on there, so I get more of an accurate template, if you will. As you can see, I'm hitting it with a belt sander. There was way more spot welds than what I wanted to find on there. So yeah, whittling away. Right, and then right here you can see it's transferring onto the metal, the templates. And so now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to stick it onto the metal, trace it out, and we're going to get ready to cut using the Beverly shear. Up next is using the brake. You saw those little lines that I drew split down the middle of those templates. That's just going to go ahead and tell me where I need to use the brake to give me my 90. And that'll wrap around our A-pillar where we need it to. Now we're just going to weld it in place. Hey Blake, what you about to do?
Weld up some rockers.
Okay, so Blake's going to go ahead. He's taking all the self-tapping screws out one by one, and as he's doing that, he's laying down some stitch welds into the rocker panel. There's no need to fully weld it all shut yet. So he'll probably do that once we get the floor in. But for right now, we just need it to stay in place with as little warpage as possible. Now Blake is going to make sure that that rocker is sitting where it's supposed to inside of the car. It's going to be a little bit of a tedious process. He's making sure that the sides are sitting level. He's also making sure that it's going with the frame. You know, it's sitting properly on the A and the B pillar. So that way when you close the door, it's not getting stuck or it's looking too wonky. And that can be kind of a time-consuming process. at that thing.
That's a rocker.
All right, so what do y'all think? Last time I caught y'all just laying here staring at the car.
Well, there's new metal on it, and there's still just as many holes in it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the painted frame behind it so you can see through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to do some wheelies.
Yeah, me too.
Send the rocker to the moon. Dude, it's like on the car.
Oh, good luck pulling it off.
Scratch's garage. And we finally got the rocker on here. ShoeBox is really coming along. Man, I don't think you realize how much work it takes to fix those little panels down there. It's, you know, a lot of contours and back and forth. Nick and Blake worked on all this stuff. I had another project that I was working on. I thought I was going to get to the quarter panel. But, man, we got a lot of stuff done tonight. Next week or whenever we do it, we'll get that other side handled. But after that gets in here, then we can start working on the floorboard. And it'll be so much more fun because we're going to put like cool designs in it and whatever. And we get this quarter panel straightened out, and then we can do radius wheel wells. So it's just coming along, but you have to remember we only work on this once a weekend, and it's one full day, and we just go for it all day long. So it's like normally, you know, 10 hours, 12 hours, or whatever, and there's 3 of us. So coming along, this is what, our 5th episode. It's a lot of work, but you know, it's a hell of a project. That's why it's the ShoeBox. It's the worst car out of the 2 of them that we have. We're going to eventually get on the SweetBox, and then that car, it's going to be crazy because they're going to be doing some choppity chop on it. And you know, this car, the Cam will be doing some choppity chop. So I'll see y'all next week. Just keep watching. We're going to be doing other stuff. Check out the Instagrams and follow Nick and Blake, and just you keep doing your thing, and we're going to keep doing our thing. We'll see you on the other end.